Welcome back, guys, and this is another episode of the Toy Squad Originals After Snap. This story is going to be about Shuri, narrated today by Fanboytone. The photography that you see is going to be from Chevy Tuhu. He actually has the figure there because he has a few of the characters that are going to be working together as the story starts to evolve. So right now we're still just introducing characters. If you guys aren't caught up on it, check out the past video that I did. I took the last three characters, last three videos of After Snap and kind of mashed them all into one. It's still full length, pretty much. The whole stories are there. So go check that out. Huge thanks to DUBBZ. He does all the music. Markai Labs, who is on the creative team. And also Life with Brock. There might be something coming up with Life with Brock, and he may be talking about this. So check him out. He does This Week in Customs. And if you're on Instagram and you're doing a custom and you want to kind of show it off, hashtag This Week in Customs. And you might get in on the episode. He does them weekly usually. And I'm not sure when they're picking up. I believe that he's on a short break right now, but they're usually weekly as they pick up, as Season 2 starts. And here is the story of Shuri.
This is Fanboytone. Want to thank everybody for being able to be back involved, getting this going again, and all of you out there for, taking the time and having the patience as we get After Snap and all these character stories told to you. Thank you so much. So let's just get right into it here real quick.
Shuri After Snap.
I should have been better. I could have been better. After everything that had happened, I made the assumption that nothing else could possibly go wrong. That's the problem. I was wrong. We all were wrong. As she stuffs the various data pads, materials, components, and anything worthwhile, she catches a reflection in one of the smooth metals next to one of her bags. Her eyes looked less puffy than they had in a while. She only cried twice today. After the beacon went off last night, and the hologram from something called the Unseen, it was the first time in what felt like forever that she felt relief. Small, but something. She had given up so much already. Family, friends, her city, and even her favorite weapon. Shuri had given up. She was at this point content to die here in the broken Wakanda. Most of it had been destroyed, but her secret lab connected to her living quarters in the royal palace, thankfully that was still there. She has been alone for so long, minus the visit from an old friend. That last thought lets her trail off even more in thought, as she prepares to make the long move to New York. I wonder if she's doing okay. She relinquished her gauntlets to her old friend because she knew not only did she legitimately need them, but they would get use on the front lines of whatever was found. Okay, I think that's everything. Time to load the talon and get out of here with haste, she whispered, as she hit a panel on the wall revealing a small indoor hangar. Now it's time for me to contribute and do something worthwhile. Maybe fight back. It takes her just under an hour to load all the things she thinks that will be needed, which will have to do to make best of a bad situation. The last thing she loads in is a large container of vibranium. Most all of Wakanda tech has its roots in the powerful interstellar rare metal. She finishes doing the pre-flight checklist and straps up in the cockpit. She enters in the coordinates and access codes for landing. As the plane takes off, she closes her eyes, and for another first time in a long time, she feels the need for rest. I just need to catch a small wink as we cross the ocean, she mutters out loud. As the Talon enters the New York airspace, the system alerts wake Shuri up with a light start. Did I sleep the whole travel across the ocean? She exclaims as she peers out at the Statue of Liberty, missing its arm and barely standing. I guess I needed the nap. I suppose it's been a while since I have felt so relaxed and tired. She monitors the controls as the craft starts its descent on the outskirts of New York, and she at first felt a rush of nervousness, but that quickly left as she realized who she was about to meet up with. It only takes moments for the Wakandian craft to enter the hidden ground hangar and then land. She barely got her hands full of her bags as the doors to the ship slowly opened. Two figures standing there staring at her, and the most familiar of the two did his best to smile through his beard. She could instantly tell from his eyes that he was dealing with much pain, but the fire had been stoked once again. That gave her relief yet again, and she genuinely smiled for the first time since the invasion. "Hello, Captain," Shuri said as he came up the ramp. Instinctively, as Cap went to embrace her, she dropped her bags so she could do the same. "Thank you for getting hold of me, Cap," Shuri said. "I had lost all hope at this point." "It's good to see a familiar face, and good to have someone with your know-how to help us get this resistance going," he smiled. "The command center is at your disposal. I'm glad I can help in any way. I have been alone most of the time and didn't ever anticipate hearing from anyone. I've really only seen one person since the fall, and she was on her own mission," Shuri trailed off. "Well, we all have demons to deal with. I haven't seen anyone since getting to this bunker," Cap replied as he grabbed her bags and walked down the ramp alongside of her. "I am LMD-147S, or if it is easier, Nick, Nicholas, or Fury for short." "My allowed knowledge is at your service," said the LMD Fury sternly. "Please hurry, there is much work to do, and one thing we don't have is time." "Yes, sir, I think I would like to see what is or where my workshop will be," she said. "I have some new things to tinker with, and honestly would rather get right to work. I have slept for hours over the sea, and I am prepared to figure out my place here as well." Shuri half smiled at the LMD. The LMD half nodded, grabbing a few packs, and headed into the compound. "I've been here for about a week, and it's good to hear a voice, but he isn't much for conversation," Cap told Shuri. Then he continued, "We really don't know who got the beacon, but I've been trying to form a plan. So far, much of what I have come up with meets a dead end." Shuri smiles, another grin with a hint of coy, and says, "I'm sure you're doing your best," and walked to the command center with full arms next to Captain America.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked it. I appreciate y'all stopping in, checking it out. Make sure, if you can, give it a like. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe so you can see more of this and more customs and things along the way that I get myself into. So thanks to the full creative team. That's Chevy Tuhu, Fanboytone, Markai Labs, and DUBBZ with the music. All their links will be down in the description. Be kind to one another.